Welcome to the channel, everyone. I'm Skratch. This is another Raid Shadow Legends video. Hope you guys are having an amazing day. Recently, we talked about the best Hydra clan boss teams. We talked about the best epic damage dealers, about the best legendary damage dealers. We talked about a lot of different things related to the Hydra clan boss. In today's video, guys, I want to take one of these epic champions and show you his true potential. Show you what he can actually do for your account. There are a lot of amazing epic damage dealers in the game, but this one really stands out when we are actually comparing him with the rest. Currently, I am on the test server, guys, so that's why I'm super rich when we're talking about gems. 3 million gems. I only wish I would have that many on my main account. Now, before I even start talking about the champion, guys, I want to show you something that will absolutely freaking blow your mind. I do want to give a massive shout out to Essie. He's another fellow content creator. This team right here, yes, Hydra Nightmare. Theox, I already showed you as well what Theox can do. Fenax, 1.5 billion damage on Hydra Nightmare, guys. 1.5, okay? They are legendaries in the game that will never, ever, ever get this close, okay? Crazy, yes. This is not a free-to-play team. This is not a budget team. That Fenax is a +4. He does have a 6-star crushing rand. But still, you bring in legendaries at +4 with a 6-star crushing rand, and they're not doing half of that damage. So, Fenax, of course, Theox will make Fenax go crazy. That's why his damage is as high. But even without that, he's still super, super solid. Now, this champion has pretty decent base stats. Not very high HP, decent attack, defense, decent speed. When we are talking about his skills, I'll be very honest with you guys. This skill doesn't really matter. This skill doesn't really matter. Now, I would like these skills to be slightly better, to have a 100% chance to land these debuffs, maybe on a 3-turn cooldown would be better. 100% chance to land block buffs would definitely make this champion much, much better. Some of you guys might say that he would be a legendary champion in disguise. So what's the problem with that, you know? Like, that would be a good thing. Everything that matters on Fenax, guys, is his basic skill. Now, he has a multiplier of 4.1 attack on the basic skill. One of the highest multipliers on a basic skill in the entire game, okay? So the damage will be absolutely mind-blowing. Attacks one enemy, places an extra hit if the target has any debuffs. Enemies killed by this skill cannot be revived. So there it goes right here, guys. Super, super powerful skill. It sounds very simple. Now, you cannot block revive if you're ally attacking, counter attacking, etc. But if you have debuffs on the enemies, you're going to absolutely demolish them, regardless if we're talking about PvP or if we're talking about PvE. This is the build that I have on Fenax. I have him built on a Savage and a Perception set. The best build for him will be, without a doubt, running a 6-piece Merciless set, because you're going to ignore 35% of the target's defense instead. Now, I do have him empowered at +2. I do have a 4-star blessing, which of course will inflate the stats on him by quite a bit. I chose to don't give him an OP build, just so you guys can actually understand that even without the champion having 7k attack, 300 crit damage, he's still going to outperform the majority of the damage dealers in Raid Shadow Legends. Total stats on him, we have the following: 39k HP, 6.1k attack, 2.6k defense, 225 speed, 100 crit rate, 270 crit damage. I do have, of course, the blessing that gives me 600 attack, 30 crit damage, so that adds quite a bit on top of the stats. For a blessing, I went with Nature's Thread because we will land some debuffs, and it just makes sense that is the best blessing for him till we get to 6-star, where, of course, we're going to change to Crushing Rand. Without any doubt, this is the best blessing at 6-star. But in the meantime, Nature's Threat will actually work, because this skill right here will put block buffs. The block active skills won't work or anything like that, but it will be able to basically give us what we need in order to increase the damage for the blessing. Masteries, we have offense and we have support. Of course, Helm Smasher as tier 6, guys. This will help us to ignore more defense, deal more damage. I do have Life Drinker to basically recoup some of the HP. You don't need Cycle of Violence, to be honest. It's pretty irrelevant. The reason I got this is because in the Hydra clan boss, Kill Streak doesn't really work. So I wanted to get to Stoke to Fury when we have some debuffs on. We're basically going to be able to do more damage. And we went with support because we do want to land the debuffs to basically increase the damage on the blessing. This is the team right here, guys. We're not going to have a block debuffs champion, so that's why Stoke to Fury is actually going to be very helpful. We have Ewa Street. Now, she is in the lead, even though her aura is not going to help us. I don't have a better aura to run in here anyway. And like this, Inquisitor Shamael will constantly boost her turn meter, which will enable her to buff our team more often, put the debuffs on the Hydra heads, and of course, give us more turn meter. We're going to get increased attack, increased speed, weaken, and decreased speed from her. She does have Cruelty as a blessing. Then we have Ugo, amazing champion. Her and Ewa Street, they literally combine like this. Absolutely insane combo. We have defense down, we have block buffs, and on top of it, we have Leech, and of course, we have a cheeky cleanse and a bit of a heal. Then we have Artac for decreased attack, we have HP burn, and a bit of additional damage. On a curse set, Artac and Ewa Street are both on curse sets. Then we have Fenax, you already saw the build on him. As a provoker and reviver, just to make this team more aura-friendly, I decided to go with Molly Tankard. Now, if you don't have Molly Tankard, guys, you can bring in V6, okay? She is a free Void legendary champion that you are able to get. The problem is, if you don't have a reviver, you're going to struggle in terms of, you're going to need to manual the run, okay? And that will be pretty damn painful. And to deal with the Head of Torment, we do have Inquisitor Shamael. Even though, to be very honest with you guys, I could drop Inquisitor Shamael and just bring in another damage dealer to help me kill the Hydra heads faster, because we don't really need a champion to deal with the Head of Torment when we have enough firepower to kill the heads. But that being said, let me just quickly walk you through the run a little bit. Then we're going to let it go on aura. I'm going to walk you through the results. And I will show you the builds on all of the champions. So, of course, with Ewa Street, you're going to open with buffs. You're going to debuff. Inquisitor Shamael coming in play, giving us a bit of turn meter, because we are hitting the Head of Torment. We're going to go with Ugo, who is built on the #1 build in Raid Shadow Legends, Affinity Breaker set. Then we have, of course, Artac applying HP burn. Later on, we will put a decreased attack as well, because why not? Ewa Street, again, will target the Head of Torment. Still, we're going to smack it. And right here, guys, I chose to put block buffs with Ugo before. I could have basically waited and rotate the entire team another time, because I'm pretty convinced they will take another turn. So if I'm using this skill right here, I'm not going to apply any debuffs right now. So the blessing is not really gonna start kicking in. So I'm gonna wait till the heads are decapitated, or till they are losing some of the buffs. In the meantime, let's deal some damage on these Hydra heads, you know. So the first head that we want to completely annihilate is the Head of Mischief. Of course, I do have Molly Tankard with that reflect damage buff as a Mischief target. That would be more than enough, to be honest with you guys. The majority of the champions will never have more than 2 buffs, except Molly Tankard having 3. So that makes this team super good in basically ensuring that the Head of Mischief will always target Molly Tankard. If I would have a 9-piece protection set for Ewa Street, would be amazing, but unfortunately I don't have that. That would definitely boost the damage for this team by quite a bit. So you see, Inquisitor Shamael can do quite a bit of damage, but let's see what can Fenax do with one of the hits. 281k, 334k without weaken, without defense down. So that is definitely a pretty decent damage. I do want to basically increase that a little bit more, you know. I want to increase that a little bit more. If I would bring in a Theox, guys, it's gonna be something completely different. I actually forgot to show it to you at the beginning of the video, but I'm gonna show it to you when we're gonna check the final result. So if we're gonna go in here, bang, the Head of Torment, take that down a little bit more. Can you kill it, please? Kill it! I want to put the block buffs with my Fenax, so we can kick in that passive, you know. So let's do that. We landed block buffs on 2 heads, so the the blessing is slowly kicking in. Let's put defense down. So right now we have a lot of debuffs on the decapitated heads. So we're gonna be able to check the damage from Fenax's basic skill right now without having that passive to its maximum potential, without having the masteries kicking in to full potential as well, of course. So that is increased the Shamael, definitely not bad damage. And then Fenax, 1.7 million with the basic skill. 1.7, guys. So that's how Fenax can bring in a lot of damage. Very, very solid champion. And yeah, he's definitely going to be helpful for a lot of you guys out there. Not only for Hydra, but for PvE content as well. Regardless if we're talking about early stages in the Ice Golem where you need to kill the minions and keep them dead. Regardless if we're talking about killing some enemies in arena like Sun Wukong and other champions that are just coming in to annoy us, you're basically going to be able to get a lot of value out of the champion. And as you probably noticed, 600 plus K hit with the A2 as well on the decapitated heads, which is definitely not a bad result whatsoever. So let's kick in a bit of more damage. Turn 7, 19 million damage. Now for the moment, Artec, I'm pretty convinced that we'll have a higher damage output, just for the simple fact that the HP burn brings quite a bit as well. But we should be able to slowly take over with Fenax. Definitely. So let's apply that. We got all of the debuffs. So let's go on the decapitated head, of course. 836, 749k, and we still have quite a bit till we max everything from the blessing, you know. And of course, it depends what head you're attacking to. So let's buff. I love Evo Street. Such an amazing champion for Hydra, guys. Very, very effective. Okay, put that leech on so we get some healing. Put a decrease attack. Put some burn in here. And we can go in again with the basic skill. 961k, 879. Much better this time around. Each one of the Hydra heads, guys, just in case if you're not familiar, basically will have a mechanic that will reduce the AoE damage. So having single target damage is actually going to be massive. And there we go with him. He brings 1.2 million damage. Why not? Not bad at all. So we have the Head of Mischief decapitated with Weaken, with defense down. We have increased attack. Hopefully Helm Smasher will not let us down. Let's see what damage we are getting. 936k, 927, so almost 2 million damage with the build that we currently have on, guys. Honestly, I know it's a decent build, but it's not a crazy build or anything like that. This is definitely way more accessible for the majority of the player base, especially if you have a 6-star blessing. If you remove the blessing, the build is actually pretty weak because you're losing the 30% crit damage, you're losing tons of attack from the build, you know, so it does make quite a bit of a difference. So we reached our goal, guys, which was get over 100 million damage. So we managed to do that in exactly how many turns? Sorry, in exactly 60 turns, and we are at 110 million damage. So that's a pretty good result for hard difficulty. If we are checking the damage, you're gonna see that you have Fenax with 31.3 million damage. Increased their Shamael with 20, and we have Artec with 36.5. Now, my Artec is built for damage as well, guys. And, of course, the burn will get a lot of damage as well. But the longer we would go into the run, the more damage Fenax would basically get to deal and out-damage Artec eventually. Now, I do want to quickly show you what builds we have on these champions, because some of you guys might want to basically rebuild this team, you know, use it on your own account, and it could give you a very good idea of what you need. So my Evo Street is built on a curse set, guys. The thing with Artec as well is that he is on a curse set, so a lot of the damage comes from the curse set to him, the damage that Fenax dealt, that increased their Shamael. So that's why Artec has more damage than the rest. Before I forget to talk about that, same with Evo Street, we have her on a curse set. That's why her damage was so high as well. Bringing in hacks will give you a lot of damage. Total stats on her, we have the following: 80k HP, 3.5k defense, 285 speed, 381 accuracy. Masteries, we have offense and support, guys. We have War Master as a tier 6. And of course, you do want to get Sniper. You want to get Master Hexer as well. This will help you quite a bit. The next champion is Artak, Curse Set, Perception. It does have a damage build, fairly decent stats. We actually have 84k HP, 3.5k defense, 242 speed, full crit rate, 235 crit damage, 300 accuracy. But what really brings a lot of his damage is the curse set, you know, the hex. Masteries, again, we have offense and support. Very similar with what we had on Evo Street, more or less. War Master will help him deal some additional damage. Molly Tankard is built on a regeneration set. We have resistance on her, speed and survivability. We don't really need anything else on her, to be honest. Accuracy too. Let's not forget about the accuracy. 66k HP, 4.8k defense, 492 resistance, 281 speed, 342 accuracy. Masteries, we have defense and support. We actually have Eagle Eye as tier 6. No War Master. It's just to basically make it easier for me to build a champion with such high resistance and accuracy. Ugo is on the best possible build in Raid Shadow Legends, guys, and that is Affinity Breaker. How many times it lets you down and it doesn't land the defense down or block buffs when you need it? Well, this set will reduce that chance. We have a couple of refresh accessories on her. We have a speed set. Total stats, we have 69k HP, 4.3k defense, 265 speed, 372 accuracy. Nothing else really matters. Masteries, we have offense, War Master, we have support, of course, Sniper, Master Hexer, Cycle of Magic, Lore of Steel, just to increase a bit the stats on the champion. You've seen Fenax at the beginning of the video, guys, so I'm not going to go over all of his build again. Inquisitor Shamael, he's built on a lifesteal and a retaliation set. Honestly, you can give him whatever set you want as long as you are getting good stats. Even broken sets. Even if you're not even making one 2-piece set, it doesn't actually matter. Total stats, 43k HP, 5.5k attack, 2.8k defense, 213 speed, full crit rate, 264 crit damage. That's pretty much everything that matters on him. Masteries, we have offense and we have defense this time around. We have Helm Smasher S tier 6 on Inquisitor Shamael. Counter attack as well, but that was mainly for arena, guys. As you may notice, most of these masteries are for arena on this champion. It's just like an older strategy that I used to run with him. Now, in terms of blessing, getting cruelty on some champions is helpful. As you may notice, I have cruelty on 3 of them. Nature's Wrath on Fenax. Phantom Touch on Inquisitor Shamael. But that was all for this video, guys. Let me know how many of you guys are running Fenax in Hydra or in different content. Super curious to hear your thoughts on the champion. As usual, much love. Appreciate all of you guys watching. Till next time, stay safe. Peace.